This is the Texas border fence. It's part of 110 miles of steel fencing intended to divide the U.S. from Mexico, except the fence isn't actually on the border. The border is the middle of the Rio Grande River, an impossible place to put a fence. So there's often confusion about what it means to cross the fence.
People think, oh, you live on the Mexican side. They think that we live in Mexico, in actual Mexico. We're like a block and a half, maybe 2 blocks away from the river. We're not actually on the river, you know.
Greg Garcia's family lives on the south side of the fence in Brownsville, Texas. Crossing is a normal daily activity, but it does mean that sometimes it gets stopped by Border Patrol, who guard the openings 24/7.
Sometimes you drive by and you see, a half dozen people being detained and things like that, and it does kind of bring that reality back to earth that, that's what they're doing. There's always a Border Patrol at this opening. There always is.
Arnold Lopez works for a farming operation with land on both sides of the fence. For Lopez and many other residents along the border, the wall of steel and concrete is just part of the landscape.
People come, they're like, oh, let me take a picture of the wall. And you're like, well, it's just a concrete barrier there. You really couldn't tell what you're dividing just by looking at it.
The fence has created a strange no man's land where sometimes as much as a mile of U.S. property is walled off between it and the water. There are houses, cemeteries, wildlife preserves, and a lot of farmland behind the fence. As President Donald Trump seeks to expand the border wall, it's likely much more Texas land will be trapped on the other side. The administration is pushing to build another 1,250 miles of barrier, nearly all of which is in Texas.
So you can see it's pretty simple just to come all the way down to the river. There's really not a lot of restrictions here. It's beautiful and quiet, until nighttime. We normally stay away from this area where it's, once it gets darker. This wasn't here just a couple days ago. You said that's a little raft that somebody left there.
Because the fence is on the U.S. side, you don't need a passport to cross, and there are openings to allow people access to both sides. But it's a highly monitored area, and the fence is a vivid reminder that crossings from Mexico are happening every day.
It's not like every day you have somebody knocking on your door or anything. And it's just, like I said, it's just more peaceful on this side.